Official Secrets was directed by Gavin and stars Keira Knightley as Catherine Gunn, and this is based off of her true story. She leaked information to the press about an illegal NSA spy operation designed to push the UN Security Council into sanctioning the 2003 invasion of Iraq. She was fluent in Mandarin, and she worked as someone who simply translated things, and the goal was to prevent possible terror attacks. And one day, this email comes across her desk. And by the wording of it, she can tell that they are trying to manipulate things behind the scenes to create a vote for yes in favor of this war. And when she realizes that this corruption is happening, she leaks this information, and in so doing, creates a considerable amount of problems for her life and the people around her. And since I didn't know much about this story beforehand, I'm going to assume that some of you also don't know the outcome of the true story, so I won't spoil much for you at all, even though you can Wikipedia that shit right now. I'm going to let you go into the movie and hopefully enjoy it, because this is one of my favorite films I've seen so far this year. We don't get too many political thrillers anymore that are based entirely on intrigue and tension and suspense. Most of our big movies nowadays are films like Joker or Avengers. We get a lot of comic book films, and while I enjoy those movies, I have a major soft spot for dialogue-heavy thrillers. There was a time where we saw films like this a lot more often, mostly in the 90s or early 2000s, but the political thriller has died down in recent years, and gratefully this story is the kind where I think just about anyone can watch it and relate to this woman, Catherine Gunn, because she saw something that was clearly wrong, and she had the courage to do something about it. And oftentimes you hear that phrase and it gets tired. It almost makes you want to roll your eyes. Like, this person saw something wrong and they had the courage to do something about it. And you're like, yeah, okay, whatever. But when you watch the film and you read the true life story, you realize just how much was at stake for her. She had a great marriage with a man who could be threatened with deportation at any moment. Her job was at stake, as well as a considerable amount of jail time, because she was in breach of what's known as the Official Secrets Act, which in itself is a very, very crazy thing, and this movie explores it very well. Ralph Fiennes' character, who comes in late in the movie, and I honestly was like, whoa, okay, holy shit, because I was already invested in the story, and then here comes Ralph Fiennes, this amazing actor, and he portrays the lawyer who's defending her in her case. And when you look at the legal loopholes they have to jump through just to express that she's trying to prevent a war, and these people are trying to make that seem clear and just blatantly lie to the public, it's really fascinating, and I thought this film was really great. I think this is one of Keira Knightley's best performances. Based off of the other work I've seen from actresses in 2019, I think she has a shot at an Oscar nom. But since no one's really talking about this movie right now, and so far it's made less than $2 million at the box office, that probably won't happen, because that's just how it works, and, you know, you guys know how I feel about this shit. It's fucking bullshit. In regards to dialogue-heavy thrillers, my two favorites are political or reporting. A movie like Spotlight, which was great and was about the investigation of child molestation in the Catholic Church. This movie combines both of those, because we also have Matt Smith's character. He's a reporter working for a paper that initially breaks the story that she leaks. And the zigzagging that goes back and forth between believing this woman, not believing her, making up lies about this memo that she leaks, and eventually uncovering the truth behind it is enthralling to watch. There was a lot of great actors that crop up throughout this movie that surprised me constantly, and I really didn't expect to enjoy the film as much as I did, and so much of that is rooted in the fact that this movie cares deeply about its characters, and it also cares deeply about feeling realistic. They use real news footage constantly. It's not altered or anything, and so it feels very off-putting and unnerving sometimes when you're watching the real things being said by actual politicians and news reporters and people who worked in the government, and you see this lie being perpetuated. And the film gets increasingly more riveting as it goes along, because it starts off very small, because this woman's life isn't seen by many people. And she goes to the office every day, she has a good marriage, she has a few friends. As soon as she gets this email, her life changes, and after that, the film continuously blossoms into a bigger, more impactful story. And with each passing minute, it gets more interesting. I have very little flaws with this movie, beyond the fact that there are a few times where the pacing might drag a tad, but most of that is first viewing issues where you're wondering where a story is going. Like when Matt Smith's character is introduced, this reporter, I was so into what Keira Knightley was dealing with that I was sort of like, okay, who's this guy? But then after like 5 or 10 minutes, you realize how integral he is to the plot, and you don't care anymore. You're invested there too, because the film takes its time to build up these characters. I think this is a very underrated film so far this year, and I really hope that more people see it. I saw it at AMC Solon in Ohio. It's only going to be there for a few more days, so if you're in the area, you can see it there. But in regards to American theaters, it's probably not going to be out for much longer. I wish I had seen it earlier, but definitely check it out on VOD and Blu-ray when you get a chance. I'm going to give Official Secrets an A. This movie really surprised me, and I think it's worth your time. Also, like I said, check out Eye in the Sky. Really good film, and I like what Gavin Hood's doing now. I think he's found a really great pace, and I'm excited to see what he does next. Thank you guys so much, as always, for watching. I look forward to more reviews very soon. And if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.